The Bengals 2024 draft is in the books. We've got some boom or bust prospects, lots of upside, pretty good amount of risk in there too. We're going to break down the whole draft class, talk about what we think of the picks. We haven't really had a chance to do that since the draft. We'll do that and more coming up next on Big Play Cincy, and Rod's going to touch his mustache.
All right, enough fondling the mustache. What is up, Cincinnati fans? Welcome. Yeah, sorry, fondle word right off the bat. Welcome to Big Play Cincy, where we talk Cincinnati sports, predominantly Cincinnati Bengals, of course, but Cincinnati's got a plethora of teams, Reds, FC Cincinnati, Cyclones, tons of stuff. But the big news right now in Cincinnati is it's going to have some new residents, Drew.
Some new residents. We got some new players in there. So 10 picks in the draft this year. Lots of
unbelievable
new faces to add. Comment section is rolling. Who Day from Greg Luther. Shout out Greg Luther. K Breezy's in there, of course. So you might notice I got a little bit of a different vibe behind me now. So I switched rooms in the house to better accommodate the millions of people that listen to this show.
Yeah, millions of people worldwide.
Shout out Nate. Love you, Nate. It's hilarious. So I'm working on getting a little bit better of a backdrop here. It's not perfect yet, but we're getting.
Well, a lot of people don't realize this because of the quality we put out. They think we're in this $1 million studio. But we're actually just in our basements, in our living rooms, our spare rooms. There's actually, I have 14 children, and they're on their monkey bars right now doing their exercise.
You have so many kids.
I know I have a lot of children, but it's a lot of fun making them.
Off already. There's already shots at me. Josh Cantrell says, shout out to Ron for being man enough to rock that mustache.
Oh my God.
Drew could never. Alpha male has been decided.
Okay, but you have the beard. You have the beard going. Yeah. I rock the mustache because the Army doesn't let me have the beard all the time. So yeah, I got
it. He said sweet normal beard. So we're off and running with that. We're glad to be here. We were not live last week. Ron was in Zimbabwe. You know how that goes. We actually had the draft last Thursday night, so we probably wouldn't have that many people watching anyway, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to get into things now. We're not going to go right into the draft class. There's a little bit more that we can talk about here, and we're going to do a little introduction to our good friends at Garage Beer because it's delicious. So shout out. I usually crack it open. Have already cracked it open.
Don't worry. Okay, don't worry.
I need to hear it.
I got it.
There it is. Yeah. You got the lime too this week. There we go. It's hot out, baby. It's lime garage beers.
Yeah, this is Garage Beer. A little fun fact. It's the best beer ever. The lime in particular. Whether you're mowing your lawn or sitting by your pool, crack open a Garage Beer. And you'll be cool. Yeah. I've been working on that.
Man. Lots of people in the mentions telling us that they have found Garage Beer. And I'm just glad to be a part of it and the awakening of the area. And people requesting it in new states. So shout out to Garage Beer, proud sponsor of our show. But guess what? I liked it before that. I had a buddy. I went and bought some shoes off Shannon Banger. I don't know if he's watching. He said he was going to tune in. I went and bought a pair of Jordans off of him, dude. Brand new reverse flu games. Dope. Dang. He's like, I'm going to go in here in Kroger. I met him at Kroger. He's like, I'm going to try Garage Beer. Got it. Said he loved it. So shout out to Garage Beer. We love you. We know you love us back. We are ready to talk some Cincinnati Bengals football. Now, before we get into the draft class, we've got a hot debate on the internet.
Ooh.
About the field. So as you can see on your screen, which was probably not the cleanest transition, but that's showbiz, baby. Yeah. You can see the old field there on the bottom, a little bit of a darker turf. And then the new one is just lighter. They chose to stick with the B logo.
Is it? Now I've been to the stadium, more times than I can count on my hands. Like, is that just a darker image? Like, I mean, help me out here. Am I being stupid, or is the field really that much darker?
Well, I saw some progress pictures where it looked a lot brighter, but it's also brand new. You're talking about turf that's been there for a long time. That's been used. They have college games on it, high school games on it. I won a flag football championship on it. No brag or anything, but that did happen. So it's been used, so it may just look a little bit darker. I don't know.
A win is a win.
That's true.
Yeah.
People are a little bit up in arms about the 50-yard line design that they chose to go with, because a lot of people, myself included, wanted the leaping tiger back, and we didn't get it. They just stuck with the old-fashioned B that has been there for I don't know how long. They took out the leaping tiger, I think, in the early to mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. Mm-hmm. Not mid 2000s, like early to mid 2010s. I don't know exactly when it came out. But I'm in the camp of the leaping tiger. I wanted the leaping tiger back. People on Twitter keep telling me that the leaping tiger represents a sad era of Bengals football, but I don't agree with that.
That's look, I'm a B guy. I'm not like a B first guy. I like the B. I think it's a really cool logo. And whenever I see it, I recognize it as the Bengals logo. So I think when people say like, "Oh, that's not a recognizable logo," you're full of shit. Like, it's a recognizable logo. Everybody knows that if they watch NFL football. The Leaping Tiger is a cooler logo, yes. But I also have an issue with the Leaping Tiger. I think it's a little awkwardly built. I think it looks like, and this is a quote from Seth Reese, it looks like two images or two logos that they were just put together. I think the head doesn't quite fit the body. I think a form of a leaping tiger in the middle of the field would be the ultimate logo. And I've seen some cool mock-ups of different ones. But we got the B, and I'm perfectly fine with the B. So I'm in the B camp.
There's a really, really good comment here from Rebecca Fromore. Throw some likes on the stream, and if you're doing that, please do it. If it's on Twitter, if it's on Facebook, if it's on YouTube, please like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff to help us out. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, so shout out to her for that.
That'd be really
But there's another comment from Devin Ruck. Love Devin to death. Only reason I've said no to Leaping Tiger, those were the worst years. I don't think those were the worst years, though. When Paul Brown Stadium first opened in 2000, they had the helmet at the 50. The Bengals helmet was there, and they had just the striped end zones with like no background. It didn't say Bengals, it was just stripes. But then when I think of the Leaping Tiger, I think of like the 05 team when Palmer's throwing bombs to Chad Johnson and Hushmanzada and Chris Henry, and Marvin Lewis had just gotten into town, and we're like, oh shit, things are going in the right direction. So I thought that's what I think of personally when I think of the Leaping Tiger, because I don't remember, like, I know the years got lean again after that, but like when I think of the dark era of the 90s, I think of like the helmet in the middle at Riverfront and the helmet in the middle at Paul Brown. I don't think of the Leaping Tiger as the dark years.
I don't really do the association thing honestly. Like, if it's cool, it's cool. And if it looks good, it looks good. Like a Leaping Tiger or the helmet at the center, like whatever. Like, as long as it looks good, I'm fine with it. I don't need to dive in like, oh well, we were bad when that was our logo. Like, okay, we're not bad anymore. We're good. I think it's time to move on. Either way, the field looks good. It's going to look good. It's new turf. When we do our whiteout games, they're going to white it out again. Like, it's going to look clean. I like that you kind of confirmed to me that it is a brighter green, because I thought maybe that was just the image. But I think that'll look cool. There's little things, right? The stripes are a little different. I got it. Okay. Not that big of a difference. And the numbers are like, fatter? Are they fatter or more square? Can you tell there? I mean,
they look like they're thicker. Maybe they've been on creatine, protein powder, bulking up a little bit.
It looks good.
But Brian, just bring on football season. Don't care at all about the logo you use. That is a very, very fair way to think about this.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Absolutely.
Totally agree, man.
I love that Leaping Tiger. It's about 20 yards wide. And I just envision the days of me being a younger man watching the rise of the Bengals come back. But
there was
shit in one hand, wishing the other.
Exactly. There was some constraints on the size of the midfield logo, I thought too. It was certain amount of feet shorter that they had to work with or something. I was reading the article. I don't know, but again, anyway, let's just play football, dude.
You read articles about this? I just bitched on the internet.
I opened the article and I searched for keywords and kind of like pounded on the table and yelled and grunted. But yes, I picked up some of the article there, and I don't know. We want to go with the primary logo. Okay, I get it. Let's go win football games.
So you read, loser. I just complained about what they did on the internet without doing any research. Maybe it's not allowed anymore. I don't know. That's a completely valid argument that could be a thing. So
some kind of constraint, but I don't know. That's it. That's the field, guys. Like, it is what it is. If it really bothers you that much, you can go be a fan of the team up north. Just kidding. I love you all as fans. Let's just win football games.
I've got my TV on showing our stream, and I look like shit on my TV. So I don't know if I need to adjust some light settings.
No, I think you look good. I just got a really good DM, Drew. We'll talk after this. So field. That's one thing, okay? Some people are saying it's a big miss. It is what it is. Let's move on, unless you have another segment in between here, to these new Cincinnati residents that are going to come here and hopefully dazzle us on Sundays.
So we do got some new Cincinnati Bengals that are coming up, and we're just going to go through in order.
Yeah.
First one is a contentious pick. I pissed a lot of people off when it happened, and I may piss some more people off today because that's kind of my thing.
There were some people that saw your tweets. we won't bring up names, but yeah, you were emotional about it, right? Get into it.
I'm being told it looks like I didn't pay my electric bill. Do I need to crank the lights up? This is my first day with the new setup. See if that's any better.
I don't think you look bad.
I did pay my electric bill. I think it looks different on our computer screens than it does on like a television screen.
Yeah, no, you look fine. You look fine.
But my bills are paid, I think. But before we get too far off the rails, as we've been known to do, let's get into the first pick. With the 18th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Amarius. Is actually, I think, the correct pronunciation. Amarius Mims out of the University of Georgia. My reaction to the pick had people telling me I was a fat loser. I should pick a new team.
That's extreme.
I think somebody said I don't know how to satisfy a woman. So there were a lot of things that were said because I didn't agree with the pick.
Yeah.
And
there were other guys available. There were other guys available that you and I actively pounded the table for. So okay, I get it. I get the frustration, but go ahead. Like, it is Amarius Mims. Like, it's an immediate. It's like a need. It's always been a need, an evergreen need. Offensive tackle, right? We sign Orlando Brown. He's with us now. This year we signed Trent. Okay, we got two starters, and we pick a giant human being who can come in and learn for a year and eventually take the reins. What was your initial frustration? Because I know you've come to accept it, right? I don't know if you're fully on board yet, but I know you've come to accept it. The pick is in. Walk us through your emotions, because we didn't do any live draft content this year because I was in Zimbabwe. Like, just boom. Amarius Mims, round 1, pick 18, Cincinnati Bengals. What happened?
How many people are going to think you were actually in Zimbabwe?
I don't know.
Everybody asked me where you were, and I was like, hey, if you told me, you'd have to kill me. So my biggest drawback with the Mims pick, when they selected Mims, I immediately started thinking about the lack of starts that he had at Alabama. I started to think about the injury. Georgia, not Alabama. I'm a moron. Shows how much I know. So we're just gonna, you know what? We'll do it live. We're gonna cut it back. We're gonna run it back for the live audience. I'm gonna start that over again.
Go.
When the Bengals selected Mims, I just thought that the lack of starts was an issue at Georgia. I thought that the ankle injury maybe is a little bit of an issue. It's a high ankle sprain. I know they can linger. Maybe I put too much stock in the injury thing on draft night, and I've stepped back far enough to maybe realize that now. But I was just thinking there were guys that you could have moved up for, because people are saying we keep screaming protect Joe Burrow. You can't be mad at them for taking the pick. Well, maybe move up and get a better offensive tackle prospect like a Fashanu or a Fugawa. Obviously, you're never going to trade up to get Joe Alt. He was a slam dunk to go top 10. I think he went 6. So I was just a little bit drawn back because I'm thinking, is this guy a project? And when I start thinking about if he is a project or not, I hate to say this, but the Bengals have not shown the ability to draft and develop offensive linemen in recent years, really since Whitworth left. So that is a concern to me because, okay, let's say we went ahead and drafted this guy. What if this doesn't work out? What if he doesn't develop in the Frank Pollock system or the Bengals system as a whole, whatever hasn't been working? And then what do? We're set back 4 years trying to make it work like Jonah Williams, and then we're looking for a right tackle again. So that's where I got to be just a little bit not sold on the pick, but I also made a rule. I said, I have draft night to bitch. And then as soon as the clock hits midnight, he's a Bengal. I want him to be the best he can possibly be. And I'm going to stop complaining. And I've tried to do that. So now I just try to look at the upside. He's huge. He's an athletic freak. If he pans out and he plays up to the potential that he has at his size, and you've got Orlando Brown Jr. over here, and you've got Amarius Mims over here, you've got 2 huge dudes blocking for Joe Burrow. And if he turns out to be what he has the potential to be, the Bengals just stole him at 18, because if he would have went back to school and played up to that potential, he's probably going top 5 next year. So I'm just looking at it as we're going to hope for the best. Let's ride. And he is a Cincinnati Bengals, so I'm done complaining about it. Maybe I didn't agree with it, but it doesn't matter because he's got stripes on his helmet. So that's all that matters at this point. End rant.
Yeah, no. I mean, all fair points, I think, right? Like for like an initial reaction, but like when I take a step back, like football's a violent game, right? Like there are tweaks, ankle, got it. Like that shit happens, right? I think that he's going to get here. Georgia's a heck of a big program. Like there's no denying that, but he's going to have professional strength and conditioning coaches. He's going to have professional level trainers that are all going to like live, eat, and breathe this $1 million athlete. You know what I mean? Like they're going to focus on this guy, and he's going to be fine, I think. Like, and to be quite honest, like he's not going to play every snap this year. So his body is not going to be put through hell like that. Right. Just like worrying about these injuries, like, man, he has to start now. He has to play every snap. Our backup is some scrub that just got off his UPS ship. Nothing against UPS. Like he can kind of wait, right? He's been vocal. Like in any interview he's done, he's like, I'll play anywhere, man. Like if you need me at guard, I'll play guard, whatever. Like he's been vocal about it. Like I just don't think the injuries are going to play a factor. I think it's in the past. I think he's good to go, you know? And to kind of talk about like the lack of snaps played, like, dude, you can attribute that to, I mean, Georgia was stacked. Like he wanted to transfer at one point because he was like, I'm good at football. Like I'm very good at football. I'm going to go start somewhere. Like, wait. You're going to play. Unfortunately, ankle, right? So I think that the best is yet to come for Amarius Mims. Like, I think he is the future at tackle. He's huge. He's athletic. He's tough. He moves around like somebody 30 pounds lighter than him on the field. I mean, it's just, I think that a lot of people are worried he's a project because of the lack of film. But we haven't, like, the best is yet to come in my eyes, right? Like, that's my outlook on it. I'm not looking at Amarius Mims thinking like, man, he didn't play a lot of snaps. That means he must not be good. No, we just haven't seen him play the snaps, and we're gonna. And he's gonna play great football for the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, that's my whole take on Mims.
And this is a really good comment from Brian in the chat. He said the Bengals' postseason hopes have been ended by backup offensive linemen having to step in. Having him come in as a backup is a dream. And that's very valid because I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the average over the last 3 seasons has been 5 weeks per season with the Bengals playing with a backup offensive tackle. And a lot of those include playoffs. Jackson Carman started playoff games at left tackle or right tackle, maybe. I don't know. One of those. He started at tackle. So that is a very fair point. And Mims is going to be the best depth that they've had at the tackle position in those 3 years. So that's 100% true.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted to hit on that comment because that's a very good point. Matt says that I have an incredible hat in a different comment. This is the new Eclipse Cincy hat that I got at the Project Game Day event on Friday night for the second round. It was a great time. They raised
good looking hat.
I want to say a couple $1,000s for the Project Game Day, which sends adults with developmental disabilities and U.S. vets to their first Bengals game. But he did say maybe he follows Whitworth, plays guard for a year, and moves to tackle. Absolutely. I think he's too damn big to play guard.
He said he'd do it. I love
he's huge. That Burrow's got a C over the guard.
I'd say it's a good point, but I think they can make it happen. I don't know. He said maybe the Bengals are thinking that too. Maybe they're like, dude, you're just too tall to play guard. But what? He's a talented offensive lineman. Figure it out. That's in my book. Figure it out. I don't know. I think he, again, the best is yet to come. That's what I think.
I'm going to bring this up. All right. I'm going to make myself full screen because I have to come to Bengals Nation and anybody that listens to this and maybe apologize for my complaining because of this comment right here from Jordan White. Isaiah Prince started the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the wrong comment. I am an idiot. They're coming in too quick. You guys are live tonight. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to apologize to you guys for my complaining because of this comment from Jordan White that says Isaiah Prince started the Super Bowl. And you know what? That's a damn fact. The line that Burrow started that Super Bowl with is criminal. And now we have a backup tackle as of now, tackle that is 10 times the talent that Isaiah Prince ever could have dreamed of being. So you know what? I do apologize for my bitching because maybe I was acting a little bit spoiled.
No, it was fair at the time. But I think we're the perfect team to have drafted Mims. If he went to another team, there are tackle needy teams out there. He would have had to start right away and figure it out real quick. We're the perfect scenario for him. He can sit back here and learn behind two other guys that have the same body type, same kind of play style, strong, able to move and play football. And it's only going to help him. And people will be like, well, we needed a guy now. I'm like, dude, he is a now guy. If we need him by the middle of the season, he'll do it. You know what I mean? So I will never knock trench depth. I really won't. I don't. Was Johnny Newton there? Yeah, sure. But look how far he fell. Right. I mean, I think the Bengals got who they wanted, and I think he's going to end up being a Bengal for a long time.
We've got Ben in the chat, and I want to shout out Ben. Ben, we're going to get to your favorite pick of the draft later. That is not what Ben looks like.
Who is that?
That's Ben. This is Ben Schramm. He's a great Twitter follow.
I love that.
He was out there in Iowa, in the Iowa-Nebraska area, where there were massive tornadoes.
Oh, Ben. Jesus. Hope you're all right, buddy.
Thoughts with everybody affected by it. But Ben posts a video on Twitter I'm going to be fine. He had his Bengals hard hat on, a Bengals jersey on, and he's drinking a beer. I'm like, yeah, Ben's going to be just fine. So shout out to Ben for making it through that and for tuning in tonight. We're going to get to your favorite pick in the draft a little bit later, and Wedge shouted that out. He pancaked tornadoes to be here. He said the hard hat protects. So shout out to Ben and whoever the hell is actually in that picture.
It looks it almost looked like Paul Brown, but it's not. It's he's a skinnier guy. I don't.
Omaha born and raised.
It's
Nebraska
old guy. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
So I think that's pretty much it on Mims. I'm walking back some of my bitching because A, there's nothing I can do about it, and crying on the internet doesn't help. And B, maybe I was too critical of the guy, and the fact somebody else left it in here. I can't remember who left the comment. They shouted out Bengals Sands, who's a very, very smart dude, and said just because he's raw doesn't mean he's a project. And that
exactly. Yes. Also. Just look at this. Bengals Drake.
The Cincy skyline.
Look at it, guys. Look at what we have in front of Joe Burrow. Would you look at that? That's it. That's all you got to do. He'll be there. He's good. Next pick.
With the 49th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Michigan man, the mutant, Kris Jenkins, defensive tackle out of Michigan. People are going to tell me that I'm favoring him because he's a Michigan guy. Sue me. But my early comment on this, and I'll let you go, is the Bengals signed Sheldon Rankins, who is a great 3 technique, who's going to rush the passer from the defensive tackle position. Yeah. That is something that they've sorely missed since after the 2021 season when Larry Ogunjobi left. Yep. They nailed it with that. Great signing. There was a giant hole still at run stuffer at the defensive tackle position. You think maybe BJ Hill's going to do it? I personally think BJ Hill's awesome. Love him to death. Think he might be better in a rotation. They go out and they get the number 1 rated run defender in the draft class from the defensive tackle position, not just because he's a Michigan man, not just because he went 15-0 and won a national championship, not just because he looks super cool in that picture on the bottom of your screen in maize and blue, but because it was the right pick. They got a guy that's going to address a big need who I think is going to contribute very early on, which is what people wanted. I've said that, like, the Bengals are acting like they're all in, so let's get guys that are going to contribute now. They get that with Jenkins. Hilarious dude. Great on every interview they've done. The eating the skyline thing today was hilarious. People are going to love Kris Jenkins if they can detach the hatred from where he went to school, which you should, because he's wearing stripes on his helmet. Yeah, now.
He did not. By the way, he did not eat the skyline. He inhaled it. If you saw the video, yes. You got any more? I mean, I'm Michigan man. I mean,
we've got a text from my dad.
Oh, that's go for it.
And then I don't have the graphic. I'm a shitty son. He said Jenkins will be a steal. Jenkins was a steal. He will be a beast. This is coming from an Ohio State Buckeye. Played under Woody Hayes. Hates Michigan more than anything in the world, and he loves them because that's the way to be. When they put stripes on their helmet, I don't care where they. I've already said they can be from Iraq.
Exactly.
So the biggest Buckeye I know loves Kris Jenkins. You can love Kris Jenkins too.
Every time you make that joke, there's a joke in the back of my head that, like, immediately it's like, oh no, they're done. They're canceled. But I just gotta be so careful. Look, I'm gonna get right into Jenkins though, man. Well, there was like a lot of my military humor kicks in, and it's like, wait, you can't say that, otherwise people will be like, oh wait, we can't follow this guy on the internet. There were guys that we could have traded up for. Newton was there, right? They didn't do it. Newton wasn't worth a move to them and a loss of draft capital. Okay. I wanted it. I tweeted it. Like, dude, I said I would cut my freaking pinky off for them to trade up and get Newton. Okay. Right. Didn't happen. Right. Out of my brain. They went with Kris Jenkins, which was in my brain, the only acceptable alternative to the pick there. That pick to me at 49 was D tackle or bust. Not bust, but D tackle. It had to be a freaking D tackle unless Marvin Harrison Jr. fell to 49, which wouldn't obviously not happen. But like, that is how much I wanted it to be D tackle. Like, dude, Kris Jenkins is like pound for pound. He's so strong, dude. He's so strong. Like, he's not going to be a instant starting reader replacement because, like, that's not his player archetype, right? But like, he can hold his own, man. Like, he can get to the next level. He can take on double teams. He can move bodies, and he's gonna contribute immediately, dude. Like, there's no way he's not. Like, what I want from him is I want him to come in and just make a mess in the middle, and that's it. That's it. Wreck the middle and make the offensive line have to just go, whoa, we have to adjust. It's like you're in a fight, the first punch in the face, you go, oh, holy crap, we're in it now. Like, we gotta, like, this guy can hit. Like, we gotta do it. Like, because if he can make a mess in the middle, then that allows Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt and the linebackers and the safeties behind him to play free. And when Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt are playing free, and they're not locked into the box and stuff like that, like, that is when they play their best football. And that's why we gave them the contracts that we gave them, Wilson and Pratt. Like, I'm super, super excited about Jenkins. He's a playmaker in the run game, which is something we sorely needed. And he's in the NFL now. He's going to get coached and he's going to get better in not pass protection. His pass rush is going to get better. And I think Jenkins in the middle with Rankins rhymes. That just my ADHD just clicked in.
Check this comment out.
Jenkins, law firm of Rankins and Jenkins. Yes.
I love it.
Dude, I love this show. It's our show, but I love it. But like they're going to have more of an effect than just, oh, look, the D line's good now. You're going to see Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt have better years than they had last year because our defensive line is going to be able to make a mess now. I really do. Reader is going to be missed. There's no doubt about it. DJ Reader was a beast, but now we have Rankins Jenkins, two guys that are going to get in there and make a mess, dude. And BJ Hill off the back coming in and like, oh shit, we forgot about that guy. Like I'm very excited about Amarius Mims, but I'm over the moon about Kris Jenkins, and he's my second favorite pick of this whole draft, which we'll get to the next guy, but like I'm pumped, dude. And the fact that he's a Michigan guy is super cool for you. Like as a Bearcat, I'm not a Buckeye. Like I don't have this hatred. Like to me, like anytime we get a Wolverine, I text you immediately, bro. Hell yeah. Like super cool. Super cool.
Last thing on Jenkins too, when you talk about pass rush, he at Michigan, I watched every game this guy played.
Yeah.
He gets to the quarterback and disrupts the quarterback. He doesn't get a ton of sacks. They don't come up in the stat sheet. But that's one thing that Lou's defense has thrived off of too in recent years is that I think they call it simulated pressure or something like that, to where you don't get the sack, but you're getting the quarterback uncomfortable. He's getting off his spot. Yeah. He's running. He's throwing the ball away, shit like that. Like Jenkins is going to do that as well. So I think that he's going to have to adapt to the NFL strength, which I think he will. He comes from an NFL family. He gets it.
His dad is huge.
Dad's a monster, dude.
Is so big. He's not as big as his dad, but I tell you, Kris, man, woo, that boy's strong, dude. And your guys are going to see it on field.
And Ben makes a good comment. Ben's a diehard Iowa Hawkeye. Yeah. So he hates the Nebraska Cornhuskers. He also hates Will Compton. But he said he hated Cam Taylor-Britt because of where he went to college. But as soon as he put the stripes on, all was forgiven. And that's the way that it goes. Yeah, that's the way that you got to be. So it's a great pick. I think it's a pick that is going to have a pretty damn near immediate impact. Pressure him right into Hendrickson's lap, says Josh Smith. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Ben says Jenkins forces mistakes, which most times can be better than a sack. That's true. Is he going to rush his throw? And is somebody going to jump in front of it? Logan Wilson finds the football.
Exactly. And at Michigan, like that wasn't his job necessarily. Like that wasn't his, that's not what Harbaugh had him do. So like maybe here he all of a sudden finds himself and he all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, Jenkins has 3 sacks. You know what I mean? Like who knows, whatever. But if he can get pressure and Hendrickson can come in and tomahawk chop or punch out or it forces Lamar to throw the ball a little sooner than he wants to and Wilson can grab it out of the air. Oh God, let's go. All win.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Brandenburg with a good comment. Jenkins has a lot more potential when it comes to pass rush. And absolutely. He wasn't asked to do it a lot, but he's got the body type to do it. And he even said, he's like, if they want to play me outside, I can play outside. If they want to play me inside or put me right over the nose, I'll eat a bunch more chili and I'll bulk up. He's ready to do whatever he can do to help the team win. And Greg makes a good comment. He seems like a guy that is a future team captain. He really does. Maybe he just interviews well. Maybe he's just good on camera, but like the things he said, the look in his eyes, he just seems like a dude that you're going to come to love. I just happen to already love him because I watched him all through college. So I think that everybody's going to learn to love the Kris Jenkins pick if they have any reservations about it right now. But honestly, I live on Bengals Twitter and I really didn't see too much negative feedback about it because I think a lot of people just know.
Yeah. I think he was like D tackle number 2. Like Johnny Newton was the dream. Kris Jenkins is like an excellent pick, right? Because like Newton's on another level with his hands and stuff. Like he's like a karate master, and Jenkins is like, get out of my way or you're going to feel pain, you know? Like,
well, it was defensive tackles. I was like Byron Murphy.
Yeah. Okay.
Johnny Newton.
Yeah, thank you.
Byron Murphy's far and away the best. Here's Johnny Newton, but I had Kris Jenkins like right here.
Same.
Like there's not a huge gap there.
Yeah,
so
I forgot about
like
Murphy. Also, Sweat going as early as he did. Like, who the hell saw that coming? Like, I would never have guessed Sweat went when he went. Good.
This is a good comment.
Good luck to
Kevin.
him, obviously.
He was a team captain at Michigan. I can't confirm that, but he said we drafted the most former team captains ever. I think
that's a
I
thing
did not
we
know
do.
That.
That's
but the Bengals do that.
Last year, I think like if we had 5 picks, 4 or we're like team cap, it was something ridiculous. Like it was nuts. Yeah.
That sounds like a Zach Taylor thing.
Culture guy, which I mean, culture leads us in, unless you have another comment talking about culture.
No, that's perfect segue.
Leads us into our
pro level.
Our next pick, man. Yeah. I'll start with this one. Holy attitude, man. I love the mean streak. Jermaine Burton, uber talented. I don't know how he was there. I do know how he was there. People are worried about his attitude, but Zach Taylor has built a culture in this locker room that isn't going to tolerate bullshit. So if he comes here and he starts with it, it's going to get nipped in the butt. It's just not something that's allowed in this building. Burton, I mean, guys like Trevor Sikkema, PFF, had him very high. Was saying stuff like he's one of the best wide receivers in the class. Had early second, late first round grades on this guy. Just the attitude, I think, is what turns some teams off. Fair enough, but guess what? Your loss is the Cincinnati Bengals gain. And now we have Jermaine Burton on the team. Dude gets off the line of scrimmage with so much speed. His feet are so quick. And I think at the end of the year, like we're going to look back at the Burton pick and be like, holy crap. Like that was the best pick of the draft. This kid can downright play wide receiver. Like in college, he was asked at Alabama to just like go, like long ball, like go, you know what I mean? Like over the top speed. He's going to come in and I think he's going to slot. He's going to play outside. He's going to do like a lot of stuff here. He's going to be asked to do. I'm so excited. I'm going to complain about his new number. Apparently he chose it, but still, dude, I am so excited for Burton, man. I don't know if you saw the video of Zach Taylor after he called him, slams on the table with excitement. Did you see that video, Drew?
Yeah, he was hyped up, dude. I'm like, all right, he sees something in this kid. And shout out to Malik Wright. Malik was on the Jermaine Burton fit with the Bengals pretty early on in the draft season. We got one of his guys. And I think a lot of the big knock or concern with Burton comes with something that happened with a fan in Tennessee when they stormed the field or something. I'm like, well, I think it was a woman, so it's a delicate subject. I don't know exactly what happened, but I also know, like, if you rush a football field and you're acting crazy toward a football player, sometimes you play stupid games to win stupid prizes.
I watched the video. I watched the video. I saw it. Did you see the video?
No.
I mean, I'll flat out. Joe Mixon's gone. He paid for what he did, and like he took his suspension. He took it like a man. Apologized, everything, right? Like all that, but like. People are acting like this was a Joe Mixon video where Jermaine Burton like called back and cold cocked a chick on the field. It was not that, dude. So if anybody is in your mentions or trying to tell you like, oh, Bengals drafted another guy that beats women or something, like, no, bull crap, total bull crap. It was not that egregious. I definitely think the attitude will change when he gets here. Like I'm not worried about that at all.
It goes one of two ways, right? The guy gets his opportunity, he gets into a good culture with a guy like Burrow, and a guy like Kris, who's a good leader. Orlando Brown seems to have a really good relationship with just about everybody. And it goes one of two ways. He falls into that, he starts producing, things are great, he keeps his head on straight, we just got to steal. Or he gets some money, he continues to be a hothead or whatever the case is, and he messes up. Yeah. And you know what? A third-round selection's not that big of an investment if you got to cut bait with the guy because he can't get his act together. Exactly. Obviously, you don't want it out of a third-round pick because that's still a relatively premium pick, but it's a lot easier to digest than a first-round or a second-round guy flaming out because he can't get his act together.
It's not like we took him at 49.
Right. I personally think that there is a strong enough culture in Cincinnati to keep the kid reeled in. We don't have these issues. You got the Trey Hendrickson thing floating around. T. Higgins maybe wants out because he wants a long-term deal. Trey Hendrickson maybe wants some more money, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like
whatever.
The Jesse Bates situation, he was franchised, knew it was up, wasn't a locker room problem. Last year, T. Higgins knew his deal was up. They couldn't come to an agreement on an extension before the season. Wasn't an issue in the locker room. It was an issue if Kelsey Conway is going to ask blatantly inappropriate questions to Jamar Chase in front of his locker and blindside him. But like, it wasn't an issue for the team at all. So like, you haven't seen the fracturing of a locker room that you can see sometimes with a guy that's not acting right or has a contract situation, whatever. It hasn't happened in Cincinnati. They had every reason to lay down and die last year after Joe Burrow tore the ligament in his wrist on Thursday Night Football in Baltimore. There was nothing left to play for. You could feel it. You could see it. But you know what? Jake Browning came in, played some ball. They rallied. They fought. And they were damn near in for a playoff spot. And I'm not going to celebrate and almost making the playoffs thing, but I'm saying that team could have laid down and died and lost out. And they didn't. No. So I think that he's coming into a good situation, and he may contribute early too. Everybody's talking about him as a replacement for T. Higgins, and I understand that. You want to have a contingency plan because he can play outside. He can be damn good in the slot too. He can replace Tyler Boyd this year.
He will.
Who's the next guy up at slot right now? Charlie Jones?
Which I don't.
No shade to Chuck Sizzle. Love him to death. Hope he balls out. But I think Jermaine Burton could easily beat him for the starting slot position right now.
Yeah, I think if like you put them next to each other and have them play, Burton will supplant Chuck. I like, dude. I like talking about our culture. Like, we have the T. Higgins situation right now, which sucks. It's not ideal, but guess what? There's no poison in the locker room. Nobody outside of the occasional pay 5 tweet, right, from like Tyler Boyd and his boys. Like, duh, no crap. Like, if something was going on with you, I would tweet out something like, pay Drew. You know what I mean? Like. But nobody's like, I will not play unless T's paid. And T's not out there slanging bullshit on podcasts like some of these other idiots. Like, even in a like DEFCON 5 not fun situation, the locker room. Oh crap! The locker room is like this, dude. Like, I'm gonna adjust this. Sorry,
that was the sound of a bad locker room.
It was, yeah. The locker room is like this, dude. They still are. So and like you said, like, he's either going to come in and play ball with that culture, or they're going to kick his ass to the curb. It is what it is. And you talk about T. Higgins leaving. If he leaves, dude, this is a viable option as a replacement. And I say it time and time again. I cannot believe I cannot believe we drafted him when we drafted him, dude. Like, dude, when Bengals fans that don't know who Jermaine Burton is, I urge you to go on YouTube and watch some of this kid's routes. They're so crisp. They're so quick. They're so clean. He is certainly going to go vertical for us. Like, you're going to see Jamar Chase's numbers up this year because of Jermaine Burton. And if T ends up leaving, dude, Burton might be the guy. Like, he might be the guy, and we got him in the friggin' third. We didn't pick him at 49 or 18.
This is another good comment. We got great comments coming in left and right. I'm trying to get as many people up as I can. As always, if I don't, please don't feel upset. But we already know Ron broke your soundbar. Wrong one. Greg says that Chase can play slot at times also.
Yes.
And the way that ties in to the Jermaine Burton pick is, in recent years, your outside guys for the Bengals were T and Jamar.
And that was it. Yeah.
And we've been screaming, move Jamar around, get him more active, get him mismatches, stuff like that. Now, okay, we want to do that. We want to put Chase in the slot. Okay, Higgins is outside, and Burton's a legitimate outside threat also. Mm-hmm. So now you've got to respect both guys going deep on the outside, and you've got the best athlete on your team in Jamar Chase in the slot where you can try to get him matched up on a linebacker or a slower safety or, a nickel back or something like that.
I love Greg.
And that just opens up the world of possibilities too. So with Greg's comment, you put Chase in the slot. And now you have a legitimate outside threat outside of Higgins that they have to respect too. You're cooking with gas, and you have gigantic human beings, hopefully keeping Joe Burrow upright. So he's got time to find the best matchup there. And next thing you know, it's a good thing people can't see my nipples because they're perked up.
I'll flat out say it, dude. I think with the offensive line we've got, Burton coming to the wide receiver room, Chase is going to be at like 1,100 or 1,200 yards. T. Higgins is going to be at like 950, 1,000 yards. And I bet Jermaine Burton's flirting with 800 yards. Like, dude, I think he's going to come in and they're going to be like, shit, we got to get this kid the ball. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be, he's not like this. Jermaine Burton is not Jamar Chase. Like, I'm selling Burton a lot right now because I'm excited about the pick. Like, he's not Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a special talent. Like, we have a special talent on the team. T. Higgins is close to being, I mean, he's a special talent. He's not Jamar Chase, but T. Higgins is a special talent at a turn right. But like, Burton, I think like by year 2, dude, we're going to be like, oh my God, when this kid's contract's up, we're going to have to pay him. Like, I think Burton is going to work out in this offense. And again, if he keeps that head screwed on, dude, you guys watch. I'm telling you, 800 yards, it's a legitimate possibility that this kid goes off.
Look at this. 12 personnel, Chase, Higgins, Burton, Gesicki.
Yeah.
Surrender now, NFL.
Yeah.
Then favorite thing about Burton is he refuses to drop deep balls, and he doesn't.
Yes.
Chris Ramberg, Burton's hands are bear traps.
Go watch.
With our improved lines, lots of deep balls to Burton in our future. Yeah. He just
go watch him on YouTube. Like to the millions and millions of people across the world watching us right now, like stay here. Don't leave our show. When we sign off, go watch Jermaine Burton highlights. They're disgusting. And after he scores, dude, he's so vicious. Like, I don't know if he's going to gritty or just throw the ball down and flip the corner off. Like, I think, please don't get a penalty, but like, dude, his mean streak is so desired. Oh my God. You remember Jamar Chase when he was like doing this and he flipped up, like, bro, I don't want George Pickens. Like, I don't want that bull crap, but like, dude, I would love it if Burton came in, caught a shit ton of touchdowns and let everybody know that he's going to catch a lot more. Like, that's the attitude I want out of Burton this year.
And Alex, man, the yak yards after catch on him too, man. Like,
he's a freak.
If he makes that first guy miss or shakes that first guy off, he's piling up yards after the catch too.
I can't.
K Breezy wants him to wear number 3. We're going to get to some jersey numbers.
I wish. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember what pick he was. I don't know how many teams picked. The 32 teams have picked above him, but like, dude, there's going to be some teams out there that like maybe had him on his board. And they're going to be like, shit, we should have picked this kid. Like, I'm telling you, he's going to ball out. It's a ball. Absolutely. It's a baller pick by the Bengals, in my opinion. They could have gone any direction. And Taylor's like, nah, I want that dude on this team.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. So we all love the Burton pick. It seems like everybody has the same kind of feeling and belief on it. So let's move on to the 97th pick in the 3rd round. This was a Bengals comp pick for the loss of Jesse Bates. They go with McKinley Jackson, nose tackle out of Texas A&M. Big human being. Not graded in the 3rd round a lot that you saw, so people think it's a reach, but there was a run on defensive tackles happening at that point in the draft where he was like the last pure nose tackle, because Kris Jenkins is a defensive tackle. He's like a 5 tech, but McKinley Jackson was the last true just nose tackle. That's a huge body that you put directly in the middle to clog up space and just make violent contact with centers and guards in the NFL.
Yep.
So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the guy's life story and I know a ton about him, but I just understand that he was the last pure nose on the board as that run went down.
Yep.
And even if it is a little bit of a reach, in my mind, it's a comp pick. So like, it was extra anyway.
Take a flyer. Look, people hated this pick. People, they almost effed. I did an F. I held it back. People freaking hated this pick, right? But let's throw more meat to the grinder. Like, I don't know who else is available, but I like defensive line. Like, look at in my notes right here. McKinley, big man, go get ball.
That's about it.
That's it. Big man, go get ball. There you go, McKinley. That's all I need out of you. Do your thing, man. I'm not going to pretend like I know your life story either. Big man, go get ball.
And that's really the tall and the short of it. I'll check the chat here, see if anybody has anything else on. Now, Alex Gatto says he can't get himself to get behind this pick at all. Brings back flashbacks of Andrew Billings, and that scares the shit out of me, considering who we could have had. That's true, but Andrew Billings also really turned things around. He sat out in 2020 in Cleveland with the COVID year, came back 2021, wasn't very good. I think he ended up in Chicago And so he actually has been pretty good in recent years. But I understand the hesitation with it too, because it's a comp pick, it's extra, but maybe you could have found some better value there. So I understand that mode of thinking too. Alex and I have more civil disagreements these days than we did back in November.
But dude, anytime you throw meat into the trenches, I'm game. Yeah, if he's not good, I'm still gonna find a way to be like, but it's a big guy. I'm still gonna find a way to
go get ball.
Yeah, big man, go get ball. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. I don't have anything more to say about it, man. McKinley, I hope
he's not Tyler Shelvin.
I don't think so. Also. No, Shelvin was like, hey man, that guy's the size of a F-250. Yeah, but his tires are all flat. Like that's what Shelvin was. Right. Like that's what Shelvin was.
We'll get to another pick here in the fourth round that I do know a little bit more about. Ben Schramm is in the chat. He's going to be real hyped up. This is an Iowa Hawkeye. This is a former Michigan man. Tight end Eric All out of Iowa. Now, Eric All had a breakout year at Michigan in 2021 when Michigan started the trend of just beating the shit out of Ohio State every November. That was 2021 is when that started. Eric All had a really good year that year. Was a real receiving threat. Great blocker. One of the 5 touchdowns that Hassan Haskins scored against Ohio State in that 2021 game. Eric All was just out lead blocking, just clearing dudes out of the way till Hassan Haskins got in the end zone. He then had a back injury in 2022 at Michigan that pretty much kept him out the entire year. He played in 3 games. Then he transfers to Iowa with Cade McNamara, a Michigan transfer. They kind of went together. Unfortunately, tears his ACL in October of this last season, so he's still rehabbing from that. But Eric All's healthy floor, I think that like the bare minimum is 2021, excuse me, CJ Uzomah that we all fell in love with. I tweeted out on I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday of the draft that his floor or his ceiling was Uzomah. That was because my wife made me paint the house it was day 3, so she doesn't, she can't get criticized too much.
Bullshit,
but we were
Victoria.
painting the house.
It's bullshit.
And I fire off the tweet, right? Like, oh yeah, his ceiling is healthy Uzomah from 2021, and then I'm not on my phone to catch that I said the complete wrong word. That's his floor.
Yeah.
Like if Eric All is healthy, you are getting 2021 CJ Uzomah at least. His ceiling is like a George Kittle. He's that damn good. He's that damn talented. And before I keep ranting or continue ranting, he's from Fairfield, Ohio. And if you want to get a little bit emotional, watch the ESPN feature that they had on him in 2021 about him being stuck in a burning house as a baby. Wild stuff. Tug on your heartstrings if you want to get a little bit more of an emotional connection to the guy. So now you got a tight end room where you're going to have Mike Gesicki, who's a free agent, is probably going to be the primary receiver. We got our sweet Prince, Drew Sample, 3-year extension. He's around. Tanner Hudson, we like Tanner Hudson. We're a big T Huddy program. And then you're going to have Eric All fighting for that. So if he's healthy, he's probably going to push for that tight end 3 spot. But I'm also curious, there's been some talks and some ideas thrown around. I don't know if this is from the coaching staff or just fans of Drew Sample playing more of like a primary H-back fullback role.
Yeah. I go, hell yeah. Sam Hubbard was like the fullback for a while, right? We know we'd use him, but yeah, throw him in there. Why not? And Gesicki's probably going to get a lot of slot reps. So I think you could see the Bengals keep an extra tight end on the roster when they get to cut down to 53, knowing that Gesicki is going to take a lot of slot reps. Now, is Jermaine Burton going to challenge for that? You put Gesicki at more of a traditional tight end role? I don't know. Gesicki's played a lot of his career snaps at the slot. So maybe they keep an extra one so that helps Eric All's roster chances. But I really think this is a dude that makes the roster as long as his knee's good. I think he's going to show out well in camp if he's healthy. I think that if you get a full participation out of Joe Burrow this year, you're going to give the guy a better shot. No shade to Jake Browning, but who's going to make you look better in practice if you're catching balls from Burrow or Browning? So I think this is a great comp. Alex Gatto, I'm so glad we're friends again. Is Drew Sample the next Ryan Hewitt? You remember Ryan Hewitt? Yeah, I do remember Ryan.
That's exactly what they did with Ryan Hewitt.
Yep.
I think that might kind of be the plan.
Yeah.
So I like the pick, not necessarily as much because of my Michigan homerism there, but I think he has a chance to be a long-term solution in the tight end room because if Gesicki has a good year, he's probably going to go get paid somewhere else as the Joe Burrow tight end factory continues.
Yeah.
So I really like the Eric All pick. I don't know what notes you had on him, but that's my spiel.
You covered it. Like I didn't see your correction to your tweet because I was going to ask you about that. You had said his ceiling was Uzama. I'm glad you said his floor was because I did see some people saying the kid could be George Kittle. I mean, we just drafted George Kittle.
Lewis Riddick said that actually.
Yeah, if we just drafted George Kittle, sign me up. But I don't know. It's going to be fun to see how he fits in the offense. ACL injuries are scary. I know from personal experience. But dude, these guys have like scientists injecting chemical X into their knees now and like putting they're like the doctors these guys have are otherworldly. He's going to come back and he's going to be all right. He's a Michigan man, was a Michigan man, obviously went on to Iowa. Michigan fun, Iowa tight end, big man factory. If he can come in and play good football, catch footballs, not drop, not be a problem or a liability blocking when he needs to be, I think he's going to be a fun pick. It's a tight end. It's not a sexy pick, but I'm glad it was Eric All. I think him being on the board, but it don't even need an ACL to be great.
There is something to be said about the Iowa tight end.
It really is. Yeah,
that's a real thing.
It's a tight end factory, man. I think he was a good pick.
AI will fix Eric All's knee.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. Cortana or whatever. Siri is probably in there, like giving these guys operations. But it's just of all the tight ends that were left outside of like Jaheim Bell out of like Florida, who I was kind of on because of his athletic ability, I think Eric All was a good pick. And if he comes in and he's, I don't know, 70 or 60% of George Kittle, then it was a hell of a pick, you know?
In the fourth? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna get a little faster with how we talk about the picks now, obviously rolling into these next rounds because they're fringe roster guys. Let's just put it how it is.
Yeah, so you get Josh Newton at 149.
I do like him, though.
Guy out of TCU. Look at the cornerback room. Start at the top. Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, Mike Hilton, possibly Dax Hill. Is the thought, and then you've got your Allen Georges, your DJ Ivies, guys that are gonna round out the cornerback room a little bit more. So I think Newton's probably going to be a guy that if he's going to make the 53, it's probably going to be on special teams. You got DJ Ivy coming back from a torn ACL, so that may give him a leg up if Ivy's not ready to go in camp. But I think you're looking at a guy that's just going to try to land in special team on a special teams role and round out the back end of your corner room. But he's a good run stopper. He's good against the run is one thing I noticed when I did a little bit of research on him. He's not afraid to come up and hit, and I like guys like that. That's why I love Cam Taylor-Britt. He's not afraid to come up and put a stick on you.
Yeah, he reminds me of Cam Taylor-Britt. I mean, Newton's 6 foot, 190 pounds. That's a big guy. Like there's college linebackers that weigh that much, right? But like I don't know if you've seen some of his videos. Like the guy is like a dog. Like mentally, he's a dog. He's a hard worker. Like there was one video out there that like I watched probably 20 times. Like he was like outwork everybody at all times. That's plan one. And then the social media person for TCU is like, "What's plan two?" And he said, "There is no plan two," and walks away. Like, dude, like
I love that.
Yeah, dude, like, come on, yeah. Another guy that's a team captain. He was a team captain, right? We got him in the 5th. So you're bringing in a leader, even if it's at the back end of the tight end room, and he cuts his teeth in special teams. Maybe in a year he's a special teams captain. You know what I mean? Or he comes and he balls out and he plays corner for us. You know, again, 5th round. So if we get any amount of play out of him, seeing the field, it's a good thing. He's a late pick. I'm excited about just to see kind of how he works out. I like stocky corners that like to play like smash mouth football, and he fits that bill like CTB.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a Kris Brandenburg and a Kirsten Brandenburg in the chat. Allen George looked pretty awful in the preseason last year. Love him, but I think he's up on the practice squad. Yeah, Newton can challenge a guy like Allen George. And that's true. Newton has really bought into the Cincy culture and fandom, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then Nate says preseason Josh Newton was graded by some as the best cornerback in college football behind Travis Hunter. Not entirely sure what happened with him during the year, but I like he was rated by some so high. That is good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah,
that people had that high of ratings on him.
He's not. I mean, he's clearly not like, oh God, I wish we didn't draft that guy. Like, otherwise his team wouldn't have voted him team captain, right? Like, team captains are not charity cases. Like, you get voted team captain because you're a vocal leader, but team captains are also good football players. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then we go to the 6th round. We get tight end Tanner McLaughlin from Arizona at pick 194. I cannot remember who it was. I want to say Field Yates, maybe. Somebody, some big important media guy put McLaughlin as one of his favorite sleeper picks of the draft. I see a lot of people saying that he's got a good ability to go up the seam. And a lot of people are saying they wouldn't be shocked if he makes the roster and makes an impact this year. I will not pretend to know enough about him to say whether or not I predict that, but those are things that I've seen.
Who knows? I mean, the guy, I did a little bit of research on him. Second team All Pac-12. It's a media vote. All Pac-12 honorable mention coaches. Like, so he's got, I mean, he was enough on the field for people to notice him in awards. Fun fact about this guy: 34 receptions, marked the most receptions for an sorry, I'm far away from the mic. Marked the most receptions out of an Arizona tight end since Rob Gronkowski in a single season, who had like 47. So he's a ball player, right? What is his role going to be on the team? I don't know. Maybe he comes here and impresses us. I did queue up some highlights for most of these guys, and I watched some Tanner McLaughlin highlights. Dude, he's kind of he's an athletic freak. Like, there's multiple plays in some of his highlight reels where he's leaping over linebackers, like not like lowering his shoulder and trying to roll off. Like, the dude's steeplechase leaping over 6'4" linebackers trying to tackle him low. So, like, he's an athlete. We'll see how he contributes.
Yeah, and he's a guy, I like to have. One thing that I really like to do, I did it with Sample, I did it with Hudson at times last season. I really, really, really like to bet obscure touchdowns for tight ends. So when I'm betting this football season on the Tipico Sportsbook app, where if you use code NATTY, NATI 150, when signing up, you can get 5% cash back on your wagers. So you gamble, you get cash back to then gamble with more, which is awesome. No other book's doing that.
Yeah.
And if you deposit $150, you get a $150 protected bet broken up into two $75 increments, one of our proud sponsors too. So when I'm betting on my obscure tight end touchdowns, you see how I professionally slid that in there, baby? This is pro stuff.
This was good.
I may throw a little scratch on a Tanner McLaughlin touchdown on a random game where he maybe gets called up or somebody's nicked up and Tanner McLaughlin's going to get some action. I throw a little $20 on it on the old Tipico Sportsbook. All of a sudden I win a few $100 and I'm having a good day, because I think that that's very, very possible with Tanner McLaughlin. So that's something that I would really like to see, because there's just nothing better than throwing $20 on a random tight end touchdown and it actually hitting, because no matter what they tell you, betting Drew Sample anytime touchdown last season was a profitable bet. That was good gambling. I won more than I lost. If you're going to gamble, though, make sure that you're 21 years old or older in the state of Ohio. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER and get that shit straightened out, because we do not want you to gamble irresponsibly. Yeah. So that was a strong ad read. That was a strong plug. That was a good segue. I feel I'm proud of that.
James Rapine will be proud when you show that to him.
Dude, when I turn this mic on, that's all I want to do is make James Rapine proud.
I got some on. Okay,
hell of an ad read. Look, chat. Make my head bigger. Tell me how good that was. I appreciate it. I need that. I need that. Thank you guys for your support. I'll sleep good tonight. The next pick. Cedric Johnson, defensive end out of Ole Miss, goes at round 6, pick 214.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him? Because
Yeah, I
don't.
do.
I just know that he's going to work.
I read a little bit about him in the Bengals website. They've got a ton of stuff on him. I mean, the guy's accolades upon accolades. Defensive player of the week, beast of the week, all kinds of stuff. I mean, he had in his final season 40 total tackles, 6.5 sacks, over 5 quarterback hurries. He got after it at Ole Miss. Like, he got after it. The level of competition he was playing is not NFL competition. So you get stupid. You're so dumb. I think he's going to add some tenacity to the defensive end room in a young man's manner. You know what I mean? So what his final role come first snap of the season is going to be, I don't know. I know he played well in the Senior Bowl. Who knows, man? These, again, 6th round pick. Who knows if he makes a team? Hopefully he does.
Yeah, this is where you get to the graph where you're like, hey, man, do we have a diamond in the rough? Yeah. Maybe. Is he going to make the team? I don't know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just not going to. I'm not trying to disrespect Cedric Johnson. Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't have enough knowledge of Cedric Johnson to really speak.
Yeah. I like that
about him.
I like that a 6th round pick brings 6.5 sacks to the table. You know what I mean? On the season. Like, I'm down with that, you know?
Another captain. Wait, is that a C? That is the SEC logo. I don't know if that's a captain.
I don't believe he was a captain.
On his chest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. I really, really wanted that comment to take off and we could talk about it, but I'm looking at the graphic now. I think it's just an SEC logo from the Southeastern Conference. Ben wants to see me drink enough garage beers tonight that I won't be able to paint the house tomorrow. The house is painted. Painting's done. Actually, there's another room that needs painted. It's going to happen sometime. I've got to work in the morning, so I can't do that. I got to be responsible. Yeah. Second 6th round pick, Dejon Anthony, defensive back, another Ole Miss running rebel. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. The things I know about him. He played his best football against the best competition. He had picks against Georgia and LSU last year. He lit up, I think it was Brian Thomas Jr. with like a Von Bell-esque hit where he just flew up and just popped the dude.
Big highlight.
So love to see that. Saw a couple good clips of him, a guy that's, played safety and played corner in his collegiate career. So maybe there's some value there for Lou, who likes to get creative with his defensive backs if he were to make the team. But this is another fringe roster guy that's going to be a camp battle.
Yeah, he looks fun on tape. The big hit really sells it. Who was the Michigan Jabril Peppers or whatever that came in and made the big hit?
Love
the helmet
Peppers.
Off. He was the.
Oh no!
Who was that? Not Jabril Peppers.
Michigan.
Michigan
was on the. Michigan was on the wrong side of that hit.
Yeah, you're right.
Jadeveon Clowney blew up Michigan running back Vincent Smith in the Outback Bowl.
Thank you. That was Clowney. Yeah. So it's fun. He's got a highlight hit. He's 190-pound safety that had like 61 tackles last year, which is like 3rd on the Running Rebels squad. So anytime a safety's coming up with those kind of numbers, it's fun, right? Maybe he's not the lengthy safety, but who Dave Fellas just getting here. Hey, Pork Chop. Dude, that dude rocks. That dude, Pork Chop rocks. But
be careful if you ever look at his phone.
Oh God.
That's all I'll say.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I know, Dejon, 6th, 7th round pick. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I like a guy that comes in with highlights. And I like my DBs strong, man. I like 190-pound DBs. Like, this isn't Baltimore where we draft 135-pound Nate Wiggins to get beat the crap out of him in the AFC North.
That's barbecue chicken, by the way, if he would put him one-on-one on Chase ever. Or T this year while T's there. Just kill him.
See, I said Jamar Chase is going to plant Wiggins into the dirt and then go run his fade for a touchdown. It's I don't know. The guy's talented, but welcome to the league, kid.
Kirsten Brandenburg says he had a Bengals jersey with his name on it and a couple Bengals helmets at his draft party. He's all in.
Hell yeah.
Did he have just like gear for all the teams and then like quickly, hey, Cincinnati just called, put this shit up, and they put it up in the back? Or maybe he's a Bengals fan and he really wanted to come to Cincinnati, and that's cool as hell if that's the way it played out. Either way, I admire the dedication.
I know a lot of the top picks get sent like 32 hats. Like, I know that happens, but I don't know these 6th, 7th round guys. I don't know, man.
Yeah. And then we've got one final pick that I know that you actually like. I think
I do.
Was this not Joe Goodberry's favorite pick of the draft? I believe I saw when they selected Miami center Matt Lee, round 7, pick 237, their last pick of the draft. Guy number 10. A lot of smart people love this pick.
Yeah, there's like a great quote out there. Like, if you saw Matt Lee on the street, you wouldn't know that Matt Lee could play professional football. Like, and then you look at his picture, whatever, dude. Yeah. So a lot of guys don't look like they can play professional football, but like when you look at his like PFF grades, like the dude graded out as a baller at center, like one of the top guys. Like he was in the top section of a lot of PFF segments, right? Like I think Matt Lee not like getting drafted and falling to us in the 7th is absurd. Like I didn't know who he was before the draft, but like after reading about him, watching highlights, like dude, he might be the center of the future. Like when Teddy K is moving on, retired. I don't know. Hopefully he's never playing for another team. I really hope he doesn't. If
Lifetime contract, no matter what, for Ted Karras. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Matt Lee is a hell of a pick, dude. Like I think if all of the sudden we needed him to play, I don't think we'd skip a beat. I really don't. I love the pick. I can't believe he fell to us.
He's getting some high praise here in the comments. Chris Brandenburg, Matt Fulkin, Lee, Nate. It's Dev AF. What's up, guys? What's up, Dev? How you doing, dog? Good to see you. Ben says he has some insane stats. Chris Brandenburg says he has anchors like an oak. Yeah. Nate, future Jason Kelsey is what he calls Matt Lee. That's a hell. That's a hell of a comp.
Listen, it's not insane, though. It's not insane. Miami, like the U, right? Like they used to be like this crazy powerhouse program. Like Jason Kelsey went to the University of Cincinnati. He was not. I love my school, but I can fully admit we were a smaller football program. But like Jason Kelsey was not drafted in the 2nd round as like the best center, right? And he wasn't Joe Alt, but like it's to me, why not? Why not? That's all I'll say, man.
And let's look at it this way too. Ted Karras aside, Ted Karras is the starting center. That's not going to change. Hopefully, It doesn't change for a very long time. I know his deal's up, but
put Lee at guard. If something happens, why?
I'm not saying there's no way he plays guard. I was saying there's no way Ted Karras wants to leave Cincinnati.
Oh no, yeah, so totally.
Let's keep that guy in here. But you want to try him at guard? Cool.
No, not Ted Karras. Matt Lee. Put Matt.
No. I know. That's what I meant.
Okay.
We're fucking.
Yes, no, we're fine. But like, if something happens, put him at guard. Put him at guard. The guy's smart. He's strong. He can play, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want Ted Karras at guard. I don't know. But to me,
Karras did play guard.
I know he did in New England.
But I love him being the anchor of the line, calling out protections, being the middle guy. But his also, if Ted were to get hurt, unfortunately, God forbid, Ted Karras gets hurt. Yeah. I don't want Trey Hill starting at center.
No, I think if Matt Lee came in, Matt Lee is cerebral. Some of his stats are like, wait, what? This guy was drafted in the 7th round. What does this even mean? Is this an error? I don't think we would skip a beat, you know. And I know I just was like, oh, maybe he's Jason Kelsey. I believe it. Maybe he is. Like, but like, okay, I'm not like saying like get Ted Karras out of here now, start Matt Lee. But like, I honestly think like he was such a steal, dude.
Pork chop with some insider information. Ted Karras' wife told me they're settling down in Cincinnati after he retires. He loves our city. I can see that. Ted loves Cincy, man. I mean, how can he not?
I think the only other place he would go is like Indy, right? I mean,
he is from Indy, and that's closer to the village of Marici. Now, closing this thing out, we've had you guys here for about an hour and 13 minutes. Sorry, it's a little bit long. We actually have, people aren't going to expect this. I did see your text, by the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But we actually have news on this program.
We do?
We have news. We have FC Cincinnati news.
Yeah,
we got any FCC fans in the chat?
I'm one. Do I have anything up here? No, I don't. But are there?
I think your Cincy hat is off frame. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah,
I bet we can see your There's your FCC Cincy hat right there. We just got to make it bigger. Make the screen
blue
bigger.
And orange right there. Yeah, I got some cool. I don't know if you guys know 75 South. Go No free ads, but go follow him, man. This bomber jacket with like the tear off patches, woo, clean, crisp. Cincy hats for days, obviously, and football messes. But yeah, any FC Cincy fans in the chat, as you guys know, we are Big Play Cincy, right? We fall under the Big Play umbrella. There's a little team up north called the Columbus Crew.
They stink.
They stink. They were in Ohio first. Okay, we'll give them that. They were in the MLS in Ohio first. So naturally, because people from Cleveland are not that intelligent and don't have the foresight to see that FC Cincinnati was going to come to the MLS and just rock the shit out of it, these Big Play Cleveland guys chose Columbus Crew. Now there's
Clowns.
a game. There's clowns. There's a game. Columbus who? Chris Brandenburg. I like that. Now there's a game on May 11th. There's a game on May 11th.
You know I'm down to hate. You know I'm down to hate anything in Columbus.
Columbus Crew are black and gold. They're black and yellow. What Ohio team picks black and yellow? Now there's a game. There's a game, people. Listen to me. Everybody be quiet in the room. The millions of people listening, the millions of people watching. There's a game on May 11th, right? Now it's in Columbus, and this thing is called a derby. And we're American, all right? So what the hell is a derby? I don't know. I still don't know. But this particular derby is called the Hell is Real derby, okay? Now there's a billboard. There's a billboard, up north. There's a billboard that says Hell is Real. Crazy ass farmer put it up there, right? Him and his 13 wives on their ranch because there's some extremist religion put the Hell is Real banner up there. And we've adopted it. We've adopted it for the rivalry, right? Between Columbus and FC Cincinnati. And guess what? We're going to go to the game with two members of Big Play Cleveland. And we're going to sit there and hold their hands and allow them to rest their poor little heads on our shoulders when FC Cincinnati wins.
Jimmy Haslam owns the Crew per Cincy Jake in the chat. And you know what? Jimmy Haslam got his fortune scamming truck drivers at Pilot Flying J. So we owe it to all of the hardworking truck drivers in America to drive up I-70. I'm going to buy some FC Cincinnati gear because I don't have any. I've never attended a soccer game in my life. I don't know anything about soccer, but you know what I know? I know that the city of Columbus stinks. I know that Reflog and Nick up there, the Big Crew guys, and I'm just going to watch the game with them, and I'm going to shit talk them as FC Cincinnati kicks the Columbus Crew up and down the field. And I'm going to get on the Tipico Sportsbook. I'm just going to bet on chaos. Yeah. I'm going to bet on absolute chaos.
Can you?
And I'm just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go up there. We're going to play, all of our fun internet games, and maybe we'll do a little shit talking because that's what we do. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to get on the Tipico Sportsbook at the Columbus Crew Stadium because I believe Tipico is actually the official sportsbook of the Columbus Crew. I'm going to bet the over, whatever it is. And I'm going to bet FC Cincinnati money line. And I'm going to go up there. I'm going to root for chaos. I'm going to attend my first soccer game. And I'm going to laugh all the way out of that place talking to those guys after FC Cincinnati comes out there and just embarrasses the city of Columbus almost as bad as the University of Michigan did the last 3 seasons.
You're so mean.
And I'm going to get 5% cash back on that wager.
You're so mean. They're still recovering from that. I'm trying to log into my Tipico app here because I tell you what, let me show you this little ditty. This little ditty I've got for this week's game. Now there's a couple things below here that say loss, but I've got for this game with Tipico Sportsbook, of course, right? Moneyline FC Cincinnati over 1.5 goals. Both teams score. So I got scratch on this weekend's game, and you bet your little ditty I'm going to put some scratch on that game up in Columbus. Can you please, for the love of God, scroll up, and can you post Wedge Gordon's comment? Oh my God, there's so many people commenting. I lost
this
it.
One?
Yes.
Can somebody tell me what a derby is? Listen, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know the first thing about soccer. I know how to hate Columbus and I know how to support Cincinnati. So I'll figure it out. But all these words and stuff, I'm going to have to learn on the fly. I don't know.
I love reading that, man, because it just makes me want to scream 1776 from my rooftop. I absolutely love it. Look, soccer, it's a newer to America sport. We're football guys, and we're going to go up there and we're going to bring American football energy to the game. Now, I've been to FC Cincinnati games in Cincinnati. They're electric. They're uber fun to attend. The team does a hell of a show. It's awesome. And I'll be honest, it's fun. It's enjoyable. And it's going to be even more fun to sit there and watch these boys in blue beat up on a team wearing black and gold. It's going to be so good. It's going to be awesome.
Stink. Cam Webb said he's going. He'll see us in Columbus.
Let's go.
Chris Brandberg, I've been saying T-sipping insert insult for years. So that's cool.
I love it.
We're maybe we'll see Cam Webb up there.
Let's go.
Harrow, a good friend in the chat. I guess we need to be careful. Last time we went to the Columbus Crew Stadium, he got pooped on.
I don't know. Harrow, please DM me and Drew after this. I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, is there certain areas I should avoid where poop is like a thing? Or like I would like to maybe if we can confirm if our tickets are in a non-poop section.
I would
appreciate that.
We'll talk to Dave. We'll talk to Dave and Podoni about that. I'd like to avoid the poop section as well.
K Breezy, I see in the comment that company you're talking about is not a sponsor. No free ads. We do happen to have shirts on from the same brand apparently, but no free ads. We do have shirts at store.bigplay Cincy or store.bigplay.com. Go to the Cincinnati section, click baseball. Piss Missile shirts are live.
Yes, they rock too.
So yeah, man, I'm excited to attend my first soccer game. I'm excited.
You're gonna have a blast. You're gonna like it.
I'm excited for the city of Columbus to lose. I'm excited for the city of Cincinnati to win. That's the extent of my knowledge. I can't wait to check it out. Never been to a soccer game outside of like kids. For like family members, I don't just hang out at random kids' soccer games.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
You got to clarify that. But I'm excited to go up there, man, with the Big Play folks, meet some of the Tipico folks, and just watch Columbus cry once again.
Yes, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
So I think that is probably about all that we have to close this off. Quick Reds notes. That we can't get into. Ellie De La Cruz, really, really good at baseball. Everybody said he's got to stop striking out and he'll be really good. He has stopped striking out and he's been really good. He's got 8 homers in the month of April. I think 17 stolen bases, which is like a record or something. Dude's going crazy. The Reds are struggling because everybody's hurt. TJ Friedel's hurt. Matt McLean's hurt. Yeah, it's all bad. Hopefully those guys get back. I don't know if McLean will this season, but we're going to try to lock in a little bit more on some Red stuff. And this is one thing I want to ask the chat before we go. We'll give them a couple minutes to answer it because you and I talked about this the other night. Let's say it's one of those 9:40 first pitches out on the West Coast like it was the last few nights in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Our kids are tucked away in bed safely. Our wives are doing whatever wives do. Usually if it's 9:40, mine is asleep. Would you guys want to just hang out with us and maybe watch a Reds game on a random weeknight where we don't have shit to do? We just cut the mics on. We can't put the game on the screen because that will be illegal, but we could just watch a game, shoot the shit, talk to the people in the comments and have a little fun. We may do that, some more interaction with you guys. Something that we've talked about. Obviously it's schedule and child dependent.
Yeah. That'd be super fun. I will get a whiteboard and I'll put it in the background and I'll count my beers and you guys can just watch me progressively just nosedive because I'll just drink a case of garage beer. It'll be so fun. I would absolutely love that.
Ben thinks we should start a Discord server.
I don't know what that. I don't even know what that. I
so
know
a Discord server is sort of like a
Goodberry
giant group chat for anybody that wants to enter it. I don't really know the first thing about starting a Discord, but I'm in a couple of them. Katie Coyle said she would watch the stream with us. That is Kay Breezy's lovely lady. So they would be probably on the couch together. Kay Breezy is a big supporter of the show. She has started to watch with him. Got to meet him. Kay Breezy's
an OG.
He is. Got to finally meet him in person at St. Tadday's Day. She was not there. So she would watch with Ben. So that would be a lovely night for their household. Ben, with Kevin, I'm sorry. That'd be a lovely night for their household. Wedge says, let's get after it. You can screen share and watch together on Discord also. So there's some stuff.
I have the mental bandwidth for like Twitter. Oh my God, the Wade Boggs challenge. Should we do the Wade Boggs thing?
I'm on this like being healthier thing right now.
Why?
But dude, that is a great idea. I've always wanted to go to the stadium and do the 9 inning, 9 beer, 9 dogs challenge. But at Paycor Stadium, you can't do it because it's a football game. I don't know why I said that. But at Great American Ballpark, that's going to cost you like $7,000.
Yeah.
But you know what they do sell at Great American Ballpark? Garage beer. Mine's crushed because I bounced it off my head. But dude, a live 9 beer, 9 inning, 9 hot dog challenge during a Reds game on a stream sounds like a phenomenal idea. You know how guys on Barstool do just stupid shit on their streams and a bunch of people watch?
Yeah,
I think a shocking amount of people would show up to watch me try to eat 9 hot dogs, drink 9 beers through 9 innings of baseball. I might just have to do it.
It'd be really fun to do that with a group of people in a studio setting. That'd be fun, but I am totally down to.
My wife would like to know if she has to sit, if she can sit with us, or if she has to make a Discord. We got to run the numbers up. You got to get out. You got to watch virtually.
Yeah, I don't know how to work Discord. I have like the mental bandwidth to run our Twitter and sit here and be an idiot with you one night a week. So that we would have to figure that out.
Dude, the live 3-2-1, the live 9 beer, 9 inning, 9 dog challenge from the house is a great idea. I know how to make ballpark hot dogs at the house. I'll tell you guys, here's a secret. Since you're staying late, this is late night, big play Cincy. We're way over our normal time limit. If you get hot dogs and you cook them up, you put them in the bun, and then you wrap them in tinfoil, put them in a crock pot with a little bit of water on that. Stadium quality hot dogs at the house.
I like this, brother.
So, dude, we might have to do that.
Can we do it? Do we have to do it here? I think let's get together and do this, man. Let's absolutely.
The problem is I got to drive home after drinking 9 beers, and that's not responsible.
And we have wives. Not that I just volunteered you, Victoria, but they can help us out, you know?
You think she's getting out of the house past 9:30 on a weeknight, dog? No, kids upstairs knocked out. We're going to figure something out. I think that sounds like a phenomenal idea. Yeah, I think that would be hilarious just to have everybody watch us try to just force these things down. I love it. I love that idea. We're going to have to try to figure something out with this. Kirsten's in the chat telling my wife she will help her learn Discord. Ben's saying he will help us learn Discord. She says that I will not help her. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, we're helpful.
Yes. Okay. We've got ideas, folks. That's why I'm glad that we brought this up. And you guys that are stuck around for an hour and 25 minutes when we're normally an hour, we appreciate the hell out of you.
This show gets made as we do it live.
Yes,
so much so that we've just committed to drinking 9 beers, 9 hot dogs at a baseball game. And while we were on the show, I'll just go ahead and announce it. I'm just going to announce it. I'm texting back and forth with Drew Chrisman. Former Cincinnati Bengal. He's going to pop in and hang out with us next Thursday. So tune in.
Buckeye.
Yeah, former Buckeye. Drew Chrisman's going to be on the show.
Currently in the USFL.
Yeah.
UFO, not USFL. UFO.
Yes. But I am actively talking to him. He's going to join us next show. So basically, I think what he's going to do is come in, explain his story from college to the NFL to where he's at right now. So that'll be a fun conversation.
Wait. Let me. I got to do this.
Okay.
We'll tag him. We'll tag him in this.
Okay.
I need to know that Drew Chrisman is okay coming on this show with not only knowing that I'm a Michigan fan, but pause.
I don't know what he's going to do, Drew.
I'm a diehard DC Defenders fan since day one. Got the hat right here. So he is not a DC Defender. So I don't know how he's going to feel about it.
What is he? He's a stallion, isn't he? Isn't he a stallion?
He's
a Birmingham
stallion.
That's right. Okay. I got to get a Birmingham Stallion hat then. Oh yeah. I'm watching a fun little video of him getting his gear on here. So Drew Chrisman coming on the show.
Content creator legend.
Dude, the dude like does DoorDash. He shows up at a Chipotle and like, hey man, I'm gonna work here today. And they're just like, okay, dude. I can't wait.
He did Miami Township Fire Department right by my house.
Yes.
He just was a fireman for a day.
Yes, 100%, dude. Gonna be fun.
Pork Chop wants to know the beer snake. The beer snake is what sold me on the Defenders. It is when it first started back during COVID. My wife got elite naps on those Sundays as I watched XFL football.
Dude, that Defenders hat is clean looking.
Yeah, it's because I don't wear it that much.
No, not like literally clean. Like it's a sweet looking hat.
They don't make it anymore. This is the OG XFL.
I gotta find one on eBay. I gotta get a Birmingham Stallions hat. We should get the hell out of here. It's an hour and 30 minutes almost. And these people are probably
all right. All right, you're right.
All right, so that's let's do this so we got something to post, guys. Again, we make the sausage as we deliver it to you, right? Next week on Big Play Cincy, Drew Chrisman is going to join us and talk about his journey from college to the NFL to DoorDash to working in a fire station to the Birmingham Stallions. So tune in next week. You like that? How's that?
That's a great segue. That's all for the clip, baby. We got to hook them in. So you guys, thank you so much for spending an hour and a half with us this week for your support. Thank you guys for tuning into the show, sharing our stuff on social media. If you're watching this on Twitter, go ahead and retweet it, DM it to somebody, ruin their day. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff. The more YouTube subscribers we get, the more things get unlocked for us and the more that we can kind of try to give back to you guys, which is something that we always like to do. So we appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you that are watching this show on this Thursday night. We will see you next week on Big Play Cincy.